Hey everybody, my name is Katie Kim and I'm so excited to share my orchestra journey with you guys today. So this is my 5th year playing viola, and if you're wondering what a viola is, it's basically what you might consider to be a bigger violin because you still play it on your shoulder, and yeah, it has a lower string than a violin, so it has a little bit of a deeper sound. So yeah, but if you see one, you'd probably think it's a violin, unless, well, yeah. But so I'll kind of start off at the beginning of my orchestra journey, and so that would be why I joined orchestra. So I went to Kennard Middle School, which you guys might have heard of. It's in Fort Collins. So my experience might be a little bit different than some of the other ones you might have heard from people who went to Irwin or Bill Reed. And so at Kennard, because of the core knowledge program, you have to do music for 2 years. And so our options were band, choir, orchestra, and I knew off the bat I didn't want to do choir because I cannot sing, so that was a no. And honestly, I don't really know why I chose orchestra over band. I guess I just liked the way it sounded and it wasn't as loud and obnoxious. No offense to band people. Both my siblings play flute and trumpet, so yeah. But so I can't tell you why I picked viola though. So my middle school had a tryout night, and so I went. It was combined with another middle school where basically you got to go around to all these rooms and try out all the instruments. And so the first one that I tried out was the violin, and I was like, no. It was because we got to hold them and try them out, and I tried the violin, and it just really didn't feel right. It was too small and cramped, and I didn't like how high pitched it was. It just wasn't for me. And I tried the bass, and it was way too big. And then I tried the cello, and I really loved the cello. I actually wanted to play cello and was considering that, partly because my middle school self liked the piano guys, so I was like, whoa, I want to play cello like that guy. But my mom said no because it was too big, and she didn't want to deal with hauling it to concerts and such. So I was like, okay, last one is the viola, and I had no idea what a viola was. We got this sheet at the beginning of the tour night, and it had all the instruments, and I was like, what the heck is a viola? But I found out, and the first time I picked up the viola and tried it out, it just felt so right. I don't really know how to explain it other than that, but it felt like it fit me, and I really liked it, and I liked the sound that it produced more than the violin also. And so that is why I ended up picking viola. So yeah, if you're going into middle school or you're just barely starting, instruments are hard, especially orchestra instruments, because there's so many different notes that you can play and all these different things. And if you don't know, I first got my instrument in the summer, and you pizzicato like this. When I first got my instrument, before I had any sort of lessons or anything, I remember I tried to pluck it like this, up here, which is not how you do it. I would not recommend. But yeah, if you do get an instrument, don't tune it yourself because that also ends up bad. Wait until you learn how to tune it or an instructor can help you, or you will break the strings. Anyway, so it was really hard to learn at first, but it was also really fun because you're learning with all these different people and you're all learning together and you make a lot of great memories together. My middle school also did summer orchestra. I'm not sure if Irwin or Bill Reed does that, but it's basically where we came in for I think it was 2 or 3 weeks in the summer before school started, and we kind of learned these songs together before school started, and then we had a concert at the end of those 3 weeks. And so that was really cool, and that was a great opportunity for me especially before 6th grade started, because that was when I started playing. And so that's where we kind of were introduced to the strings, the notes, what the different parts of the instruments are called. And it's a really fun way to also get to know people who will be in orchestra with you. So if you have the opportunity, I would definitely recommend doing it. And I also did that in my 7th grade summer, or going into 7th grade and going into 8th grade also, and I loved it, and it was really fun. Because you also get to see your friends before school starts, and that's a plus. So after that summer program in 6th grade, I remember one of the hardest things for me was learning by rote, which if you don't know what it is, it's basically learning how to play music without reading music, which was really hard. You'd think it would be easy because well, at least for me, I didn't know how to read music before. If you like play piano or something, you might know how, but I had no idea, which also kind of worked for me because I was learning alto clef, which is what violas use. Nobody else uses that, so it didn't really matter because I was starting fresh and so is everyone else. But learning by rote is when your teacher or instructor, conductor, whatever you want to call them, basically plays a song and you have to copy it. And that was really hard for me because, I don't know, I'm a very logical person, so I'd like to look at the music, be like, oh, I'm playing a D, let me play a D. But no, I had to listen to what she was playing and look at what she was playing and try to figure out what note was that. But that was actually a really cool experience for me, and it taught me a lot. So that was fun. I also did a lot of competitions in middle school, and I'm pretty sure Erwin and Bill Reed do this also. But your teacher enters you in all these different things that you go to for, they're kind of like competitions. Some of them aren't judged and some of them are. Mine were all at Fort Collins High School, I believe, and you kind of just go in and you play in front of judges and they'll give you notes on it. You might also be scored, and then you go and talk to a clinician, which teaches you like how you can improve the song, and it is so much fun. If you get to do that, you will have so many good memories. You'll make friends in orchestra really fast, and it's so much fun to go to those competitions. In what I did is we'd always go out to like lunch after or before our competition, however it worked out with our competition time, and it was always so much fun. We got to like go out on our own to lunch, which as a middle schooler is so cool. So that was a lot of fun, and you guys would totally love that. So if you get to do that, definitely take advantage of that and remember the good times because they will be a lot of fun. Something else that I wanted to talk about was other opportunities. So when you're in orchestra, there's kind of always these little side opportunities that you can do. And for me, one of those was the Pruder School District Honor Orchestra. And so basically it was, you auditioned if you were in 7th or 8th grade for this honor orchestra put on by the entire Pruder School District. And so I was terrified, but I decided to audition for it because my orchestra teacher really pushed me to do that. And so when I first got the audition material, I was so scared because I had no idea what I was doing. And so I actually got a private teacher for a couple months who helped me work on that sheet music, and that was also a really great experience. And I ended up getting in, which was so amazing. I was so proud of myself, and I would definitely suggest doing any of those extra opportunities that you can do because A, you get to meet new people and get that new experience, and B, you also push yourself more and challenge yourself, which is always a really good thing because you learn a lot from it and you also get better. And playing those songs is also really hard when I got there. They were all super hard songs, harder than anything I've ever played, but it pushed me to work really hard, and I think that's really important. So I did that honor orchestra in 7th and 8th grade, and it was so much fun. And then there are also other opportunities that your school might have. Mine, we got to play for this thing called the Magical Dinner that my school puts on every year. It's like a theater performance, and that has so many good memories. It's just, orchestra comes with so many good memories. And so I just wanted to kind of go over some of my favorite songs that we played. We played some different things from Star Wars. We played the Pink Panther theme, which was really fun. And then probably my favorite was a song called Rosin Eating Zombies. And if you don't know what rosin is yet, you'll find out. It's like you use it for your bow in orchestra. But the funniest part about that song was that there, literally in the music, it said in italics like scream. If you like read music, there's always these like usually Italian phrases that you have to follow, but this one just said screams. And so apparently throughout the piece, like random people were just supposed to scream. So we had scream auditions, and we voted for the best people to scream during the performance, and that was really fun. So yeah, just a lot of cool things that you get to do in orchestra that you don't really get to do if you weren't in orchestra. Concerts are also really fun. They can be stressful and can seem scary at first, but they're so much fun. A lot of my concerts I got to play at Fort Collins High School in their auditorium, and I also played a few at the Lincoln Center, which was amazing. And so if you get to play in those bigger areas, that's also a really great opportunity to kind of get used to playing in front of more people and just to be on a bigger stage. And that was also really important to me because you get to hear your sound in all these different places, because your orchestra is going to sound different everywhere you go because of the acoustics in that area. And so that was really a good opportunity to learn how to adapt to all those different areas. So yeah, I've also gotten a lot of opportunities outside of just orchestra because I play the viola. I've actually gotten to play at my aunt and uncle's wedding, which was insane. And then I also have played for a lot of different church events and like siblings' baptisms and things that were really fun. So yeah, after middle school, I went to CEC, which is a high school, and their orchestra is minuscule. CEC as a school focuses more on academics, so they don't really have a lot of arts programs, but I did join their orchestra, and I was one of 2 violas, and there was really like no one. We had 1 bass. It was really more like a really small chamber orchestra, or quintet even, than an orchestra. But that experience also taught me a lot about how to work with smaller groups, how to improve my own sound, because my sound became a lot louder and more obvious, so you can't really blend into the background in those situations. And so my message there is to just really go for anything and everything, because there's always something that you can learn from any experience. So I went to CEC my freshman year, and I'm a sophomore now. So after my freshman year, I switched to Loveland, which is where I'm at now. And I was so excited to be part of a bigger orchestra again, because that's what I was always used to in middle school. Kennard has a huge orchestra, so going to CEC was really weird. But I'm so glad that I'm back at Loveland and that I'm back in a big orchestra, because I really like that, and I like how you can be a leader in your own way no matter where you're sitting in the orchestra. You can be a leader from your chair, and you can help other people, and you can also learn a lot from other people and how they play and kind of copy that into your own playing and style. So I think that was really cool. So yeah, that was basically my orchestra journey, and I would just say to any of you that are considering joining orchestra to do it. It's so much fun, and you'll have so many memories, you'll make so many friends, and it's just a really good experience, I think, for anyone. You'll really love it, and it'll be one of the best things that you decide to do. So yeah, bye!